with the next shikigami, Nue, who seemed like one of the weaker shikigami under Megumi, but under Sukuna was way more powerful and also much larger. It's like the difference between Zapdos and Zekrom. Anyway, under Megumi's interpretation, Nue is essentially an electrified bird. It is mainly used for attacking in a hit-and-run style of offense, with its electricity being able to stun weaker opponents. This stun does not work on cursed spirits at Hanami's level or higher though, so it's definitely not that strong. Nue is also extremely helpful when it comes to attacking flying enemies, as it is obviously capable of flying itself, and its electrification can also knock them out of the sky due to its paralyzing effects. Nue is also used by Megumi to carry him short distances and break his fall, but it's not strong enough to carry people outright. On the Sukuna side of things, Nue is obviously much larger, and this form is also capable of creating lightning strikes in a huge area. We don't know exactly how strong these strikes are, but they didn't seem to do any damage to Maki or Takeba. Sukuna's Nue was also capable of flying with the weight of 2 people on it, and was central in the forming of Ajito, which we will be talking about later. For now though, we have to talk about Great Serpent, which is one of the shikigami we don't know a lot about. It seems like its main purpose is restraining opponents so Megumi and his other shikigami can easily attack, but it's hard to say if that's its intentional usage or just how Megumi used it, because immediately after it was used, Sukuna destroyed it, and we never saw Sukuna use it individually. This brings us to Toad, or sorry, this Toad. While not as cool as Toadstool, Megumi's Toad is still pretty cool. It mostly acts as a support unit, using its long tongue to ensnare opponents and rescue allies from a distance which it can fit into its large mouth. Toad can also be summoned as several smaller toads instead of one big one. These can surprisingly support the whole weight of a fully grown adult with no issues, and can even act offensively in very specific circumstances. Toad is also one of the few shikigami used in a combination shikigami, as we see him combine it with Nue to summon the Well's Unknown Abyss. These smaller variations are highly mobile, mostly thanks to their wings, and they can even give the 10 Shadows user increased mobility as well. Using this combination shikigami also prevents Nue and Toad from being completely destroyed, making them kind of indestructible. This is extremely similar to our next shikigami, Rabbit Escape. Technically, we see Max Elephant before Rabbit Escape, but this transition is just too good to pass up. Rabbit Escape is yet another support shikigami, and it manifests as a huge swarm of rabbits that distracts the opponent. Unlike Toad, which is only indestructible under certain circumstances, Rabbit Escape is always indestructible, as there are a near infinite amount of rabbits because of how little cursed energy they take to form. In the anime, we did see these rabbits fight against Toji, but this whole sequence was not in the manga, so it's not technically canon. Okay, now let's talk about Max Elephant. Max Elephant is the largest shikigami in the 10 Shadows technique. It is an offensive unit, and when it was first introduced, it appeared that its main purpose was to spew large amounts of water from its trunk. This water is expelled with a huge amount of force, as it was easily able to send Kamo flying through a wall. However, instead of this water spewing ability, we mainly see Max Elephant use